Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Wanan here, and I wanted to share with you some information that I learned about virtual learning, as well as some tips, strategies, and organizational tools that you can use to keep track of your assignments and help you be a successful virtual learning student. I'm wondering, when's the last time you have used one of these? Were you much younger? Did you use it in science class, or maybe take it outside to look at bugs in nature up close? When I went into EDSB and saw all the different things that you all were doing as students and learning, it reminded me a little bit of a scientist who was making observations. It reminded me of having to use a magnifying glass to be able to see things a little bit more closely in more detail. When I also saw all the different things that you were keeping track of, it also made me think of a detective, kind of like you were looking for the clues to solve a mystery. For example, when you first started this process, you had to find out, what are my assignments? When are they due? Where do I find to go to do my work? And how do I submit it? So, I really kind of noticed that you had to really find a lot of information and pay attention to details. What I learned is that virtual learning is very detailed. There is a lot of information to keep track of. There are a lot of steps that are parts of your assignments. And so when you are completing your work, you really want to pay attention to those details. You want to really use a lot of strategies to help you see, okay, did I read all the steps in the direction? Do I understand how to do this assignment? And we're going to talk more about that in a little bit. But we are trying to help make it easier for you too. In 6th grade, your teachers are making a weekly planner so they can list out your assignments that you need to complete for each day. And before you even get started with your work, there's some things that are going to help you be started and set for success. One is to have one location where you do your work, where you have the computer, where you have your planner, where you have something to write with, and the things that you need. The other thing is, in your workspace, you want to pay attention to, what are my distractions? And if you notice that it is more noisy, there's a couple of things that you can do. You can try putting in some earbuds or headphones. The other thing you could try is talking with your family and see if you all can come up with a set quiet time together as a family to allow more quiet and less distraction while you are completing your schoolwork. Now, I'd like to share some very specific organizational tips and strategies to share with you. All right, everyone, I wanted to show you what my planner looks like thus far. And mine looks a little bit different than yours, but I found one so that I could kind of go through the organizational process and show you some tips and strategies. So by luck, I just kind of picked one team of 6th grade teachers. It include Miss Jacobson, Miss Nolan, Miss Graham, and Mr. Feathen. And I recorded down their assignments that they had posted for Monday. And there's a reason why I have only Monday finished. It's because I want you to focus on one day at a time. Most of your teachers seem to post one assignment per day. Now, some of your classes are a little different, but most core academic classes, the teachers are posting one subject or thing to do where you have to turn in information each day. So what I recommend is when you first are ready to start going and get organized, you go into your homeroom teachers page and you check in for attendance. Then what you can do is you can set up your planner, and you can see at the very top, I put reminders in for myself to remember to check in with attendance first thing in homeroom. And then I would go to one of your class pages. It could be reading, whichever comes first in your planner, or it could be whichever you see on EDSB since they're in order, whichever is a little easier for you. Go to the teacher's EDSB page, and then I want you to pull up their weekly planner. Now, if it's the beginning of the week, you can review information that's due that Monday, but also you can kind of look ahead and see, okay, what are the things that we're working on for the rest of the week? Now, what you want to do is pay attention. Do you have any quizzes coming up? If you do, you can write that information also in your planner later that week. okay? Because you want to write down the information that you have for that day. But if you have a quiz coming up, you can write that in, and then when you have more time, you can add in when you are planning to study for that quiz. For example, Miss Graham's class has a quiz on Tuesday. So even though it's not Tuesday yet, I wrote it in there, and then under math, you can see I wrote study for quiz. But what you want to do is start with one class first. Just take a look on their weekly planner, and then go to the teacher's posting for that day. And you want to look at that posting to help you write the information in your planner just as you see it. So for Miss Jacobson's, on Monday, she had 5 things that she wanted students to do in order for her assignment that day. So, you really want to look at the details and look at those steps and copy down exactly the 5 steps. Now you see, I did use abbreviations to help things fit, and that's okay. You also see that I started a couple strategies too. So what I recommend is when you're getting organized, start with one class first, look at their EDSB page, make sure you write down each of the steps, look again, double check, did I get all the information? Then pull up the next class. You can see here on my planner, I have history next. And Miss Nolan had 4 things posted on her EDSB post. So I wrote all of those 4 things in. Double check yourself. Did you get all of those steps written in your planner? Then go to the next class, in which you see I have math. So you can do the same thing, follow the same steps, and then do the same thing for science. You can definitely see an abbreviation there that I have. And then I also listed my elective classes, because don't forget, they also have assignments and they need to keep you learning, and they have grades for you too. So what I recommend is get organized first. Get all of your assignments written down for that day before you start doing your work. Once you have everything listed for that day, then I would start with the assignment that gets you going. Could be something easier if that gets you more motivated, or if you're like, oh, this is my hardest subject, and if you feel more confident and you feel more relieved getting that done first, you can start with your hardest first. You have to kind of see what works for you, but basically pick one that's going to get you going. So you want to start your work, and as you're going along, you can see I already did this with language arts a little bit. When I was done with the sections for language arts, I checked off the boxes. Now you don't have to actually write boxes next to yours in your planner. You could just kind of check it off. When I was all the way done with all 5 parts of the assignment, I then went back and I went and double checked Miss Jacobson's EDSB page. And I looked, okay, did I do everything for step 1? Did I do everything for step 2? And did I do everything for steps 3 through 5? Once I had that information checked off, I triple checked myself. And once I did that, I highlighted in my planner just to go through, again, the directions and the details that the teachers posted. So when you think you're done with something, you can check it off. But when you're done with all of the steps for that assignment, what I want you to do is triple check yourself. Go and look at your teacher's EDSB posting and then check your work. And if you have everything, then highlight it in your planner, and then you can move on to the next subject. So you can see that I did not start history just yet. So I'm going to start working on history. Imagine we're doing it in this fast forward time. All right, I did my T-chart. I'm going to check mark next to that my planner. Next, I got to work on my quiz. Okay. I got that done. I'm checking it off. As you're finishing each section, check it off in your planner. Then you want to check your work with your planner and what's on EDSB. So you would go to Miss Nolan's page and look at the directions again for each section. Check and look at your work and say, okay, did I get the T-chart finished? Did I? If you did, you can highlight it in your planner. Did I take my quiz? Is it submitted? If it is, you can then highlight it in your planner. So this is just a manner for you to really double and then triple check your work if you're taking the time to do that, you can catch errors, you can catch things, and you can also be pretty sure that you have the information done and submitted that you need. So also, when you are doing your work, don't forget to take breaks. You know, when you get something done, take a brain break. Do something fun for a little bit. Walk away from the computer. Could be listen to a quick song. Could be, you know, watch a quick funny video. There's a lot of things you could do. If you're allowed to, go outside for a little bit. But anything that's going to help you stay calm and happy, and then motivated to come back and start your work again. And so as you're going through your work, you know, once you're finished with the class, you can take these steps. Don't forget to take breaks. And if you are having a tough time, reach out to your teachers. They have scheduled office hours, but a lot of them are also checking EDSB. So if you're not sure of something, send them an EDSB message, email them. They also are starting to schedule Zoom meetings. If you can make those, it's a great opportunity to ask questions. But again, if you're having a tough time with something, or if you are not understanding something, or if you need a little more help, please, 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 your teachers are here for you. We are here to help support you. Reach out to them. So again, I recommend focus on one day, and you're getting your assignments done for one day at a time. But also, you know, keep track of when you have quizzes, because you might have some for coming up for later in the week. And basically, you know, when you have a quiz, write it in your planner. And then the day before, you want to write in some study time, and you want to take some time to kind of prepare and review that information. And if you kind of are very detail oriented, if you really take your time to read the directions, to write down the information, if you double check and triple check things, and if you reach out for help, you are going to do a great job. And so I just wanted to share with you some tips and strategies. I hope this information was really helpful. If you would like more help with this, please feel free to reach out to me and to your teachers.